Please note, I'm not a medical professional. This is based on my own experience and research. If you want or need more information on hormones, go talk to a medical professional.
If you have the testosterone in your body, and that's what your system primarily runs on, lifting weights can clear up a lot of the fogginess in your brain. If you have estrogen in your body, doing a lot of cardio can do the same. It kind of goes for like no matter what exercises you do, but it's kind of like a little better. T is a very explosive hormone, okay? Most, like 80% of the time, you will feel kind of muted. You don't have a lot of emotional energy or a lot of emotional expression. You aren't feeling a lot of emotions in general, but there are bursts of emotions where estrogen is kind of like a constant stream of emotions all the time. It never really lets up. So if you think of estrogen and testosterone that way, it kind of makes sense that like walking and sweating out your emotions can help with estrogen because it's such a constant flow of feelings or how you're feeling or what is bothering you. So a constant movement can help with that. Testosterone is like an explosion, but small bursts of it. So picking up heavy things in small bursts and then putting them down, taking a small break and doing it again can help with that. So it kind of makes sense in a weird way.
To be real for a second, I think everyone needs to listen to both M2F and F2M folks to better understand how hormones affect the way they think. It's fucking fascinating.
It is.
Personally, talking to someone whose F2M was eye-opening regarding how rage manifests differently, how terrifying it is, and how someone who's dealt with it their whole life learns to deal it and not think much about it.
I've talked about this before. When you're fueled by testosterone, there's kind of a constant bubble of rage in you, constantly. Where estrogen, it's more like a constant small stream of, it doesn't necessarily have to be big emotions, but there's a constant stream of emotions. As somebody who now knows so much about hormones and can recognize like when those things happen, when you are fueled by testosterone primarily by like from birth and you never had anything else in your system, or you never had like a lower version of whatever is running your system, you will always be kind of reactive. If you are F to M, like female to male, and you are starting testosterone, I think is a huge help. I think this goes for both, but I genuinely think it's a very important thing to get, if you can afford it, a therapist. Somebody who can like bring you down when you're feeling all of the feelings or feeling none of the feelings, which can be equally really scary. When you are putting testosterone in your body, the very common side effects are like, obviously, you are very emotional, you can cry easier or you can cry none at all. You can be very irritable, like super irritable. But the thing is with testosterone is that it's a very long drawn out feeling versus estrogen where it can be very up and down quick. Where testosterone, I feel like it's more, oh, you're kind of always annoyed or always kind of angry, or there's always something on your mind that's kind of pissing you off all the time. But with estrogen, I feel like you can kind of stop and you can recognize, okay, I'm feeling these emotions and acknowledge those feelings. And potentially, hopefully, deal with those feelings, whatever those feelings are. With testosterone, it's like, oh yeah, I am no longer explosively angry, or I'm no longer reactively angry to what is making me upset, but it's still there. But I think that's also why it is so important that if you are going to be on testosterone, you need to recognize that it can be moments where you will be reactively angry, as in you will simply react to something that is making you upset in whatever way you are reacting. It can be an explosive yelling at a person, an object, punching, kicking. It can be very physical at times, which is why go to the gym. Get that energy out the fuck of your system. Where with estrogen, it's such a constant stream of emotion, and it doesn't necessarily have to be big streams of emotions, but it's always kind of there, so you kind of learn to deal with it better. Both folks on estrogen and testosterone experience rage. The difference in rage with estrogen does include of seeing red. Sometimes testosterone rage can include the caveman brain desire to bash someone's head in with a rock. And it's not always there, but it can happen for female to male folks. The first time they experience it, it's terrifying, and honestly, it should be. I agree, 100%.